What's up? Welcome to my channel, Detroit Poker. In this video, we're going to be talking about 3 things that make live no-limit hold'em cash game players fail. I see these things at the poker table often, and I also see them in my students, in the hand histories they provide for us to study with. I've given this a bit of thought, and I think these are the 3 basic things that you're going to need to work on just to kind of get to the next level. If you play 1-2 or 1-3 and you're trying to advance or become more profitable, this is definitely the spot for you. So don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell, and you'll get notified for every time I upload a new video. So with that being said, let's jump right into the 3 things that's going to make you fail long term. So the first thing is self-discipline. Let me give you an example of this. You haven't had anything but rags for 3 hours, and you finally look down at ace-7 of clubs in early position. Okay, you decide, well, hey, this is the best hand I've seen in a long time. I'm going to play this hand. Some people might decide to limp it. Some people would raise. Well, let's just say, for argument's sake, you decide to raise ace-7 of clubs in early position. You go multi-way to the flop. This is where it starts. You having the discipline to maybe avoid this spot. I'm not saying that it's not possible for an experienced player to navigate a hand like this from early position. Let's put it this way. It's going to be very difficult for you to navigate this hand out of position post-flop, because I think most inexperienced players, recreational players, losing players, they don't understand what they're trying to accomplish with an action. So like, just an example, you take a flop with ace-7 of clubs and the flop comes ace-jack-3 rainbow. I think most inexperienced players just auto bet because they paired the ace, but they don't really know what they're trying to accomplish by this bet. Are you trying to get value? Or are you trying to bluff? Like, these are the mistakes that you're going to make post-flop if you don't have a lot of experience. You're just not going to understand how to navigate after the flop. So you need to have the discipline to put yourself in good scenarios. You need to have the discipline to maybe fold more if you're starting to get tilted. You need to have the discipline to not buy in again if you lost a whole bunch of money and you're not playing good. There's so many aspects that discipline is going to come into play and determine your success at 1-2 or your failure at 1-2. So having good self-discipline is definitely step 1 to becoming a winner at the poker table. This is naturally going to segue into the next item that's going to cause people to fail, and that's pre-flop decision making. Kind of similar to discipline, but this is a little more specific. So you're going to see all sorts of people playing all sorts of absurd cards pre-flop at 1-2 and 1-3 no-limit hold'em, and I think the reasoning is because live poker is so slow and people just simply, they do not have the patience or the self-discipline to wait for ideal spots. If you want to beat 1-2, 1-3, live, low stakes, no limit hold'em cash games, you're gonna have to make good pre-flop decisions. And the whole purpose of this is to put yourself in good situations so you can navigate easily after the flop. You will have better cards than your opponents most of the time, and it's profitable long term to play a solid pre-flop strategy. What you're going to see is players doing things like limping and calling raises with just total nonsense, like Queen-5 suited or Jack-3 suited. I mean, I don't even know why players look at their cards. Honestly, nothing surprises me. So I can't stress it enough. You got to have a set range that you play, and you got to stick to it. You got to make good pre-flop decisions. You got to put yourself in good situations. You got to have good cards. Makes it easier. So if you deviate from that based on, I only got 2 hours left to play, I got to make something happen, or, I'm stuck $200, I got to win a hand. Like, if these are factors in your decision making and you deviate from your pre-flop strategy, you're going to lose long term. But let's go down the road of what happens as a result of this. Let's just say that you make a terrible pre-flop decision to enter the pot with a really crappy hand in early position. Let's say you decide to raise Jack-10 offsuit under the gun, and you go to the flop and you flop a straight, and you stack 2 guys, right? You win all this huge pot with Jack-10 offsuit. What happens as a result of this? Well, a couple of things. It reinforces your thought process that you can navigate out of position with a hand as bad as Jack-10 offsuit. As a result of that, now you continue to make those poor pre-flop decisions, and you'll do it again and again and again. Results are kind of clouding your judgment because you feel like, well, hey, I won, so I should keep doing this, right? No, that's not right. If you've played poker for any length of time, it's kind of like this roller coaster ride of upswings and downswings and upswings and downswings, and like anyone can win when the deck is smacking you in the face, but like when the downswing comes, this is where all these pre-flop decisions are going to start affecting your bottom line. This is naturally going to lead to a bigger downswing than needs to happen. So like the goal is, it sounds real easy, is win the most and lose the least. People are so results oriented because they feel like they're playing good because they won. When the downswing comes, then they in turn feel like it's just bad luck. I just got to keep playing, get through this downswing. But a downswing might be, I don't know, $3,000 at 1-2, right? While a bad player could turn that downswing into an $8,000 downswing by playing shitty hands in wrong positions and playing too many hands and not making good pre-flop decisions. And you can see how this can spiral. You got to get your pre-flop decision making under control. You don't need to do a whole lot of sorcery to beat 1-2 or 1-3 no limit hold'em. It's pretty easy. You just got to be disciplined and make good pre-flop decisions. That's 2 steps. So this is naturally going to lead us into the next point. It kind of compounds off the 2 things we've already talked about: discipline and pre-flop decision making, and trying to win every hand. So that's the 3rd item. It's going to cause people to fail at live low stakes no limit hold'em games. Because you don't have good discipline and because you're making poor pre-flop decisions and you're putting yourself in suboptimal spots, you're going to get in a lot of dicey scenarios after the flop where you're going to flop a piece, or you're going to flop like a shitty, mediocre hand, and then you're going to try to win this hand because of all the reasons that I've already told you about. You want to win the session. You're stuck $200. Whatever. There's going to be multiple reasons you're going to try to win every single hand you play, but I believe the root of the reason that people try to do this because they're results oriented. They just can't wrap their mind around sometimes it's your day to lose. Every single decision that's presented to you, you try to make the best decision you're capable of and minimize the loss. That's it. I mean, sometimes this will work out for you. You'll play poorly and you'll get rewarded with a bunch of luck, but it's a slippery slope because if you don't follow good discipline and pre-flop decision making, and then you try to win every hand, long term, I promise you, this is not profitable. I've played a lot of poker, I've coached a lot of people, and time again, these 3 items I think are very important. You should definitely take a look at my video series that I created to help players start at square one, plug all their leaks, and get on the road to becoming profitable at live low stakes cash games. I'll put a link in the video description, put a card up, and you can check out this video series. I encourage you to watch the entire video series. I think there's 12 videos and it's ended with a live stream about mental game. I do offer private one-on-one coaching via Zoom. You can email me at livepokerplayer8@gmail.com. There's going to be links in the comments, links in the description. Basically, it involves note-taking and going over your hands and working on thought process. And it's been immensely helpful for all the students I've had so far. I mean, think of it this way. One good hand can pay for 3 hours of coaching. Take a look at my website. There's a little bit of information there, and I do have some merchandise available. DetroitPoker.net. And until next time, make good decisions and put yourself in good spots to make money at the poker table. I will see you in my next video. Take it easy.